This project's going to become a reindeer, and you will need two pieces of brown paper, different colors, and you're going to be folding the paper, so when you fold it, it should come into a square. So whatever size you've chosen, these are 6 by 12. They have to be twice as long as they are wide. I'm going to take my first paper and I'm going to fold it from the bottom to the top. Now I'm going to open the paper back up again, and I'm going to find where the fold is. You're going to look for that edge where the paper bends, and you're going to put a little dot there, and then you're going to find the middle of the bottom of the page. And you're going to put your finger down there, and you're going to put your dot there. Now you're going to connect those dots with a diagonal line. I'm doing this while the paper is open. Then I'm going to cut the bottom half of this paper. Set those aside. This is going to become my reindeer's nose that will stick out. So it's going to look like this. Then I'm going to make the reindeer's antlers. I'm going to also fold this paper from the bottom to the top, but I'm going to leave it folded. Then I'm going to carefully place my hand down on the paper. Your hand is probably smaller, so spread it out as wide as you can, and so it will fit on the paper. I have to make mine a little bit closer together so it will fit. And I'm going to trace around my fingers. Notice how my crayon is straight up and down. If I put it on the side, it's going to be harder to go around the hand. Now when I'm done with that, I'm going to finish that off on the side. And I'm going to hold these two papers together, and then I'm going to carefully cut out around my fingers. It might be easier for you to go around the edge of the fingers first. And then hold the fingers so they're pointing toward you, and then snip out the in-between part. This way you don't have to keep turning the paper and losing your grip on paper. So I'm going to cut in between. The fingers are going to come out. If a little bit more comes off, don't worry about it. This is not supposed to look like a hand. It's supposed to look like deer antlers. So if they're pointed or they're a different shape than your hand when you get done, they will be perfectly fine. So now I'm going to open these two pieces of paper up. If by chance they're stuck together, you may choose to cut them apart if you like, but I happen to like them like this, so I think I'm going to leave them together. And then I'm going to glue them to the back of the deer's head. So what you do is you look at the bottom of the hands and put dots of glue just at the bottom edge. I'm not gluing the entire hand because that part is going to stick up. Then I'm going to take the head of my deer and I'm going to put it on top of the glue, and I'm going to press down and squeeze. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I'm ready for some eyes and perhaps a nose. So I'm going to take a little scrap of white piece of paper and fold it in half. I'm going to draw a circle in the middle of that paper, and I'm going to hold it together and cut out the circle. Like I said, if the circle isn't perfectly round, don't worry about it. And I'm going to take my two circles, and I'm going to glue them down onto the front of my deer's head. And then I can use a marker or a crayon, and I could put a little dot in his eye. Maybe some eyelashes. Okay, now the nose is going to be one circle. You can choose to make it like Santa's reindeer and make it Rudolph with a red nose. I think I'll just make mine a little black nose. If I have a small piece of black paper and I want to draw a circle on it, I'm going to draw it towards the edge so someone else can also use that piece of paper for something else. I'm not going to draw it right in the middle. And whenever I glue down something that I've drawn, I should put the glue on the side where the pencil is. That way it won't show when I turn it over and glue it down to the front of my reindeer's head. Now, when you lift his head up, you can draw his mouth underneath the front. And if you want to use this as a card for someone, you can write down here inside. You could write Happy Holidays or Merry Christmas. I know Hanukkah's over right now, but that would be a nice card. Now, if there is time left, you can spend a little time decorating your reindeer. I'm going to put a bow around on his neck. So let's make, I think I'll make a collar like this by cutting a strip of paper. It's not quite long enough, so I might need to have two pieces to make up the edge. And then I'm going to cut a little bow out. Let's see. I think I'll make it look like a V shape and then a V shape. Right like that. It could go on top. Maybe I'll put it like this. Okay, now once I've done that, I'm going to trim off the extra paper that I do not need. Maybe I'll just cut this one in half. And I can glue the reindeer's bow down. I'll put it sideways. And now you have a paper collage reindeer.